Hey guys, this is Cam for 15, back at it with another video for you guys, and back with another Flash Season 7 episode review. As we move on with this season. So, this episode is coming off the Goodbye Cisco episode and stuff like that, where this is kind of really centrally focused on Cecile. I thought today's episode was yesterday's episode was all right. Nothing really major really happened other than I guess the Kramer stuff that was revealed. But I thought it was an okay episode, to be honest. I can understand why people probably didn't like this episode. It was kind of just a filler episode. So yeah, now the episode starts off with Joe and Cecile talking. Excuse me. And Joe was digging into Kramer's background and why she's interested in Metas in Central City. And Cecile gives him this report saying that there's a report that she served in Fort Dakota, but shockingly, that's not on her official record that she served there and stuff like that. So Joe is gonna go look into it some more, and then we'll talk about it. The revelation at the end of the episode. Now, that's when after he leaves, we see Cecile trapped in some sort of white room, essentially. Now, other than that, we cut on Chester's just kind of, you can see, making himself at home with everything he's got in his new office, which shocks Caitlin because she's never seen so many things in what used to be Cisco's old office. But that's when Chester goes down to the basement and Star Labs, and he doesn't see it, but he ends up freaking, I guess, interrupting or damn near, walking into Barry and Iris doing the dirty deeds, if you know what I mean. If they're doing the birds and the bees. I'll keep it PG. But yeah, that was a very interesting scene. Now, listen, I'm not gonna judge anybody, and listen, if you like to do it in public, go ahead and do it in public. More power to you. You just better hope you don't get caught, but more power to you. But I know maybe the basement area Star Labs would probably be like the least, area where people would go to. But it's like, if you really wanted some privacy, I'm like, one, you're the Flash. Why can't you just zip and run Iris back home and you guys get it on there? Or get a hotel room or something like that? Or you go into that one vault room with obviously the AI and stuff like that, where the old reverse Flash room. Why don't you just go in there and do it? Because I guarantee you nobody's gonna go up in there. No clue why, but okay. It was a funny scene because you had them trying to make themselves look like good and everything, and even Iris, she's like trying to get her hair. And then freaking Chester, he eventually catches on to I'm sorry, I'll go. They're like, no, you don't have to go. We were leaving. Which, listen, that's just embarrassing. Anyways, after that whole scene takes place, Barry actually goes by to talk about a case with Cecile, but then we see Cecile actually makes Barry dizzy and makes him pass out. We find out that's the fake Cecile, and then that's when Barry sees the real Cecile in the whole room and stuff like that. Now, we find out from Caitlin that if Barry stays asleep in this comatose state, he's essentially gonna be in a coma for the rest of his life, and stuff like that. Now, Caitlin and Chester try to tells the fake Cecile to use her powers on Barry to see what he can read or what he's feeling, and that's when she brings up the fact about the gold mask, and then when Chester looks through the book, he sees that it's the mask belonged to Psycho Pirate. But the thing is, Roger Hayden is in Arkham Asylum, but the mask is not, and it's about to be sold at an auction, so it's held in this museum or something like that. Now, we cut back to what Barry is doing, and he asks Cecile, the real Cecile, how did you get here and stuff like that. And essentially Cecile tells him essentially what happens back in the Forces storyline when she got hit. She was essentially forced into this room and stuff like that, and she doesn't know to get out. Now Barry tries to activate his Speed Force powers. It's not even activating. So, but then, some time passed, the door eventually opens later. Now, we actually see the return of Sue Dearborn in this episode, which is great. Again, it sucks to see that obviously, Hartley Sawyer, the former actor of Ralph Dibny, obviously got cast aside. I still wonder if they're going to recast him. I feel like with the elongated man, they can recast him, with his face and the way he looked like. They could say, well, my face rearranged to something like this, and that's why I look different. Honestly, I feel like that would be in the best interest to do that. Like, just, recast, obviously, elongated man. Like, he's literally Mr. Fantastic of the DC universe. Like, you can just say, well, when his face was done having issues it had after being burnt and everything from last season, his face changed and stuff like that. And now that's his new face. So we'll see. But the reason why Sue's there, she's gonna help get the mask and do the sneaky stuff. Now, after they look like they got the plan, Sue does tell Chester, like, I think this is a little bit too much of a coincidence of how easy this is looking. I'm just saying, I don't think we should be doing this. And Chester's like, all right, look, it's fine. We got this. Trust me. And stuff like that. Now, we see Sue break in. She does like this little ballerina stuff to avoid the lasers. But lo and behold, by the time they're able to access the mask, Iris finally realizes, wait, this isn't the real Cecile. But it's too little too late. Sue knocks herself, thanks to, obviously, Psycho Pirate, or fake Cecile. She manages to knock out, she managed to knock out Sue and stuff like that. Now, speaking of what is it, Barry and Cecile back in their thing, they see this portal that looks like it's going to get them out of the mind space, but then all of a sudden they see this person in a straitjacket, and it's a Cecile in a straitjacket, essentially mocking and laughing at Cecile. And by the time they get back to the room, Cecile goes in deaf, and we find out that Cecile, her mother had cancer, and when she was doing a trial, that's when she got the news that her mother passed away from the cancer. And essentially, this has been an issue of her where she's been down and depressed and sad. The fact that, she wasn't there for her mother, and then the fact that she's also all alone and stuff like that. Essentially, it made her go into a deep depression, and when she was in this deep depression, she would always go to this mind space area, and she could never get out because she could never face the fears of being alone, essentially, and stuff like that. And that's essentially was her fear, just being alone and stuff like that. So, yeah, so Barry is like, listen, if you can confront your past, we'll be able to get out of here. And that's when you see is when she's more willing to do that, Barry starts to get his powers back, and that's when they get ready to go, and stuff like that. Now getting back, we find out the face of Cecile wants the Thinker's chair to eventually, I guess, fuse the mind and have complete control of Cecile's real body. So she managed to do that. Sue also kind of criticizes Chester for the whole thing that happened and stuff like that. And it kind of gets Chester a little bit down. Iris does have a nice talk with him because Chester's like, I've only been here for only maybe a month or so, and I don't know you guys like Cisco does and stuff like that. But obviously Iris gives him a nice pep talk and a nice speech, and then eventually that's when they realize that the fake Cecile needs the Thinker's chair. Now, eventually she gets a hold of the Thinker's chair, and the thing in this whole climax of the episode is Cecile finally overcoming and facing her past and stuff like that. And she overcomes that. Her and Barry manage to leave. Barry wakes up from his comatose state. Cecile has complete control of her body again. And that's kind of where the episode ends off. Sue eventually apologizes for the comment she made to, obviously, our boy Chester. And that's that. Obviously, what happens next is Cecile goes tells Joe about it, and Joe's like, listen, I'm always going to be here for you, and if you need to talk about something, make sure you talk to me about it, stuff like that. And then at the end of the episode, we find out that while serving in this unit, Kramer essentially led this unit to an ambush. And the interesting catch here is the fact that she was the only one in this ambush that still came out alive. And that's where Joe comes with the theory maybe she's potentially working with the enemy, which I guess makes sense. Or who knows, maybe she got out of there by luck. Maybe her men just said, get out of here, run, we'll take care of this and stuff like that. And I'm probably guessing they must have got ambushed by metahumans since she has a clear-cut vendetta against them. So either two things, she is working for an enemy and she's got more sinister motives, or the catch is that her comrades said, listen, you get out of here, you need to live, we'll stay and we'll fight. So yeah, other than that, and like I said, it was kind of a solid episode. I didn't mind it, but at the same time, it's like I didn't really care, which goes to show you these fillers episodes. There really was no main story plot point. Like, I'm guessing the only main storyline plot point was probably the Kramer stuff. But other than that, it was just kind of a Cecile-centric focused episode. But yeah, that's kind of it. And I did see another reviewer on The Flash, I think it was Pagey, who said that those kind of catered to maybe mental awareness, and stuff like that, obviously with people with, having mental issues with their depression and stuff like that. So yeah, other than that, that's kind of it. So if you guys like the video, leave a like, put in the comment section your thoughts on this week's episode of Flash, as well as hit that subscribe button if you want to get more Flash Season 7 content or any of the other CW DC TV shows. I'll be here. And other than that, guys, I'm gonna get over. Hopefully, you guys have a great rest of your day or night or whenever you're checking this video. Until then, guys, I'm gonna catch you guys in the next video. Peace.